Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to TRX Gold's channel with rapidly advancing projects during this booming precious metal market. Joining us to discuss is Stephen, the Chief Executive Officer, who's going to take us through some of the flagship projects, a little bit of his history, and a few more things in between. But first and foremost, welcome, sir.
Yeah, no, thank you for having us on, and thank you for the enthusiastic introduction.
A pleasure to get you on. I mean, it's pretty enthusiastic time surrounding gold, holding over $2,000 an ounce. And I know it's a conversation of choice. Your stock seems to be taking some of the momentum here, but you guys got a lot of catalysts going on. So for newer audiences, do you want to give us a brief introduction to your flagship project there in Tanzania? Just tell us kind of the broad view of the company.
Yeah, it's always good for gold to go on a little bit of run on the price side. But when I step back, I always think fundamentally you got to build a business regardless of the price environment that you're really in. So our project is based in Tanzania in the Lake Victoria Greenstone Belt. There's other major mines in that area, including the Geita complex for AngloGold Ashanti, and Barrick has some large mines in this region as well. Our project has 2 million ounces in measured and indicated category at 1.88 grams a ton, as well as another 600,000 in the inferred category. So we have a big, well-endowed resource, and we're currently producing at 1,000 tons per day, which is enables us to utilize that cash flow for further growth. That production today will produce around 20 to 25,000 ounces at a cash cost of $750 to $850 an ounce. And certainly, we're not going to stop there. We want to continue to grow that production profile as well as the resource profile.
Yeah, and I appreciate you talking a little bit about the production, especially like Buckreef Gold. You kind of recorded its highest quarterly production today, which was what, 5,636 ounces. Do you want to kind of discuss some of the, I mean, you kind of briefed on some of the economics. We want to talk about some of the growth targets, what we kind of expect through here 2023.
Yeah, so there's various things going on in the company. So the first one is a new ball mill, which will double processing capacity, has been ordered. It's under fabrication in China now. We're expecting that to come online sometimes towards the end of calendar 2023. That will, as I just mentioned, increase throughput rates by doubling it. Gold production won't necessarily double depending on the grade profile that we put in through the mill in the mine plan, but certainly it's going to be a lot bigger operation than it currently is. On top of that, we're doing a MET study. The rocks are in South Africa for the broader, bigger project, particularly around 90% of the resources around the sulfides. We're also completing a geotech study, and that has to do with pit slopes and lowering the strip ratio over time for a much larger project. We're also looking at expansion of tailings facilities for the life of mine project, as well as starting to initially source bigger and much larger mills to make this project much larger. Ultimately, we believe, still a lot of work to get here, that this project is capable of producing 150,000 ounces for 10 plus years with a massive resource, particularly what we're seeing in the exploration and the potential resource upside.
Yeah, definitely appreciate those insights. And just to finish up, I want to roll back a little bit here. You were appointed CEO in 2020, and you've got over a decade of experience kind of in the gold sector. Do you want to give us a little bit of history of what led up to that aha moment and what kind of got you involved with TRX?
Yeah, so I was at PwC, the Canadian Deals mining leader for PwC Canada. And in that role, I had significant experience advising companies in value creation, operational turnarounds, M&A, fairness opinions, a lot of capital markets experience as well around that, and dealing with government. So did that role for around 10 years or so. So it gave me a good breadth of experience. TRX was one of my clients prior to joining. When asked to join, I knew it was a lot of work, and it was a semi turnaround. And so certainly it was a challenge, probably a bigger challenge than what I originally anticipated, but certainly I'm always up for the task. So I joined in December of 2020, and since then we've been growing the asset, figuring out how to reduce the cash burn, putting in place some business metrics, although small now, but to grow. But the reason ultimately that I did join, you can't, basically, the rocks in the ground are the rocks in the ground. The geology is the geology. You can't really change that. So you need a good geology in order to create a decent business in the mining space. And if you don't have that good geology, it's very difficult. So although there was a lot of operational turnarounds, putting in place new management team, cutting off cash burns, solidifying government relationships and other stakeholder relationships, ultimately the geology in the ground is really, really good. And probably better than I anticipated, because I think there's a lot more blue sky exploration potential than I ever anticipated here.
And we're going to expand on that when we come back. So I'm going to implore the subscribers or the viewers to consider subscribing and let us know what you think in that comment section below. And on that note, as always, we look forward to catching you in the next one.
Yeah, thank you very much.